Hello guys and welcome to today's video, man. Okay, so Boruto chapter 6 is out, and I've just got to say this, that Ikimoto and Kishimoto, they've really upped their game. Straight from August of last year, every chapter out is banger after banger after banger after banger, bro. And this is another shout out to you all. Thank you so much for 236 subscribers. The road to 1K is looking clean, bro. Let's get into it. Okay. So, the chapter starts off with Shikamaru talking to the elders about Boruto's recent reappearance in the village, and they are pondering about why he came back since he knows they want him dead. And Shikamaru then is now defending him, talking about how he was the one who drove Code away from the village, even though his motive for being here is unknown. Now, before we get into the full recap, Chapter 6 is a lot of dialogue, giving us some information, but Chapter 7 is looking to get right back into the action and write very, very fast. So let's get into it. In the next panel, we see that the elders are trying to convince Shikamaru to formally accept the title of the 8th Hokage, but he's unwilling to, and we are going to see why exactly that is. We then see Shikamaru chilling in his office where Ino comes in with a package for him. It turns out it was just a mission log that Shikamaru wanted to look at, but as we go further into the chapter, we see that it was a ruse. And it was a ruse because if they want to have mind transfer conversations, should I call it mind transfer conversations? Let's just say psychic conversations. If they want to have this type of conversations, the sensory unit has to be listening in on it. So for Shikamaru to avoid suspicion and an uproar within the elites, being Amado, Kawaki, Ada, the unit system, everyone that is tuned in with them, he and Ino have to talk off the distance, and as Ino says here, is a violation of regulation, but Shikamaru tells her that Konoha's safety is depending on this conversation, so they have to break the rules at least just this once. Now the panel switches to my boy Kawaki, and he's having a conversation with Ada, and Ada is debriefing him on what has transpired, being the 10 tails of Claw Grime. They are getting their evolved consciousness and what they are going after. Kawaki then goes on to ask after Code. Then Ada says that Code's run off somewhere, that the Claw Grime are out of his league now anyway. So we've got inverse confirmation that the Claw Grime are stronger than Code, which puts them above Jigen and everyone else in the verse. But we can see that Boruto is not as, I wouldn't say he's stronger than them, maybe somewhat on. I don't know how to describe it, but I think he's up there with them, but not with them, if you get what I mean. Ada then goes on to drop the bombshell that the Claw Grime are also going after Naruto as well. And then she mentions that the Claw Grime are also coming after her. And as we can see, Kawaki literally ignores that part. It's like it just flew in one ear and went out the other. It just went over his head completely, almost as if she didn't even mention it. I think that in this sense, in their relationship, what I can relate it to is Naruto and Hinata. How Hinata was always caring and loving about Naruto, and Naruto always thought that she was a weirdo, type shit. So Kawaki then asks her, why are they going after Lord 7th? With Ada responding that she really cannot tell. Kawaki then goes on to say that no matter whatever these things are after, he doesn't really care. Lord 7th is in his hands, and that he'll just have to get rid of all of them. What I've noticed so far from the start of Two Blue Vortex to this chapter is that Kawaki has been so overly confident. The power shifting hasn't really touched him yet, if you understand what I'm saying. He hasn't really noticed how much stronger everyone is so far. What I'm saying, I'm just talking about Boruto and Shinju in terms of stronger, because you don't know how stronger everyone else is right now. From what I can see in Kawaki's current behavior is that he still thinks he's on top of the world. For me, for me, pre-time skip, Kawaki was number one, no doubt. Once he got that karma back, he was on everybody. He wanted to smoke everyone, and he would have smoked everyone if he wanted. So yeah, I think he still feels that way because he hasn't seen Boruto in a while. They haven't squared up yet. Like they were about to, but Boruto had to follow code to get to the 10 tails. So let's continue with the recap. As we continue to read further into this chapter, we see that Daemon starts to point out that Boruto and Sasuke are the only ones other than the three of them in this room that know that Naruto is alive. So he then says that the world won't believe them because they are considered criminals. But what is Kawaki going to do if those claw grimes come to Konoha looking for the Hokage? Like he says, won't they figure out that Kawaki has lied? Daemon then goes on to say, not that I really care about you, unlike Big Sis. Now this was interesting because like I remember when Omnipotence happened, when Kawaki made Ada tell everyone that Boruto killed Naruto, remember when people were saying that Ada has now lost all interest in Kawaki, like all, that she was like all over Boruto now. Well, this statement by Daemon just put all of that to shame. Because Ada is still very much interested in Kawaki. That's crazy. So after Daemon says that, Kawaki gets up frustrated and he leaves the residence. Ada then asks Kawaki where he's going. He says to leave him alone, that if she really wants to know, she can just spy on him if she wants. Now, like for me, I think Ada is really, really patient with Kawaki because she can tell what kind of a childhood he had, because there is no way a girl can be patient with a guy like this. Like Kawaki gives zero fucks about this girl and she's still held over heels for him, and it's crazy. So for me, I think maybe that's why she's being patient with him, because this is crazy, dog. So the scene shifts to Kawaki putting on his jacket and he's going outside. Mitsuki is standing right there. Kawaki then tells Mitsuki that you're also annoying. Everyone around him is annoying. Then Mitsuki then says it's his job to guard Ada and Kawaki, that if he has a problem, he should take it up with Lord 8th again. May what there being again, it means that Kawaki has complained multiple times to Shikamaru about Mitsuki, and Mitsuki is relentless and he keeps following him around. Kawaki then tells him not to shift the blame, that he's a hangnail. Now, like, another thing about Kawaki's character is that he always wants to be alone. This guy, after everything, like, after his time in the Leaf Village, he's still not comfortable with, like, being comrades and like being around people that care about him. And like that's what I just love about this character. He's so complex and yet so simple, and it's amazing. The panel then shifts to where Boruto, Sarada, and Sumire are, and we can see that Sarada is having a flashback of her hug with Boruto and she's blushing. Now, I will still stand by what I said in my video that Boruto and Sumire are endgame. I personally am still standing by that. I don't know about you, but I am definitely still standing by that. This doesn't mean anything to me unless in the coming chapters they confirm it, their ship, then I'll take it. But like as for now, as we don't know, Boruto and Sumire is still endgame for me. Sarada is then thinking to herself that she shouldn't have thrown herself at Boruto like that. That there are lots of questions she wants to ask, but she doesn't know how to start things off now. So Sumire breaks the ice by telling Boruto it's been 3 years and he looks nice. He then goes on to say ditto class rep. I'll never understand why this man still calls her class rep. Like, what the fuck? Now they're even teenagers, bro. Even when they were kids, I was like, okay, maybe something, but what the fuck? That's crazy, dog. So anyway, let's move on. Boruto then smiles and turns over to Sarada and says, same for you, Sarada, but I never imagined you'd throw yourself at me like that. Sarada then says that, does he know how worried she's been that she couldn't help herself? And Boruto then says true, that he's happy that the both of them are okay. Sumire then asks Boruto that, is it really okay if he should stay in the village any longer? With Boruto saying that he has already erased his chakra signature. and the sensory unit probably wouldn't find him, but it wouldn't take so much time for Kawaki to notice that he's in the village. Boruto then states his reason for showing up, and he says that he came to tell Sarada about what happened to Sasuke. He then says that Sasuke was absorbed by the Ten Tails. The scene then shifts to Kawaki saying that he feels it. He feels Boruto's presence in the village. We can then see a snake coming out of Mitsuki's garment, and then we come right back to Boruto's conversation. So Sarada then asks him absorbed, as in he's been turned into a tree, with Boruto replying, yeah. Sasuke sacrificed himself so that Boruto could escape, that it's his fault that Sasuke was absorbed. Sumire then points out that a lot of villagers were also turned into trees as well. That why are claw grimes going after non-Utsutsuki's? And now she said a lot of villagers were absorbed as well. That means we will be seeing more claw grime, more conscious claw grime coming in soon as well. Boruto then tells them that the fundamental goal of the Ten Tails is to devour chakra of any kind instinctually, then to eat an Utsutsuki to turn into a divine tree, or that's how it's supposed to go. With Sarada then asking him supposed to, he now said for whatever reason the Ten Tails have already started to become divine trees. And like, my theory on this is, Code's claw marks contain is a mixture of Code's chakra, and Code's chakra is mixed with his dud karma. Even though it's a dud, it still contains Ishiki's battle experiences, somewhat of Ishiki's essence. So maybe as he put those claw grimes, because remember in Boruto Naruto Next Generations, when they explained the claw marks and why they cannot be absorbed, they said Code's chakra is mixed in with the iron and whatever the fuck makes it up. So what if when he put that on the Ten Tails, Code's chakra is there, Ishiki's chakra is mixing with it? What if they started absorbing Ishiki's chakra, and that's what made them to start evolving into divine trees? That's just my theory on that. So maybe I can drop a video on that. We'll see. So let's continue with the recap. We then see Mitsuki putting a call for Shikamaru, and he's telling him that Boruto is somewhere in the village and Kawaki picked up his aura just now. Shikamaru then goes on to say that he didn't trip the sensory unit, which means he has learned to erase his chakra. Mitsuki then asks Shikamaru to tell Ada to help him pinpoint his exact location, that he has to be somewhere towards the south, with Shikamaru then asking him where Kawaki is, with Mitsuki then saying that he personally will go to where Boruto is because Kawaki is not suited for pursuing Boruto, because as soon as Kawaki got within range, Boruto will pick up on his aura and he dip. So we now see that Kawaki has been sneaked, bro. Kawaki was snuck and he was laid down. Now, like, in Kawaki's defense, right, in this kind of situation, Mitsuki is like his biggest glazer, bro. He wouldn't expect that type of shit from him. So that's why his guard was down. That's in his defense, though. I mean, like, Kawaki has been like, the fandom and the anime community, I've heard that they are putting Kawaki on fraud watch, which, like, to me is like, it's crazy, bro. Like, Kawaki's comeback is going to do some of y'all so dirty, like, and I don't want anyone to switch up. If you remember, I think I made a video on this. I talked about how Kawaki and Boruto are relative to Naruto and Sasuke at the beginning of Shippuden. Sasuke came back with the Kirin, Boruto came back with the Uzuhiko, and like, what had Naruto learned with the time skip? Virtually nothing except releasing a Genjutsu, and like, Kawaki hasn't shown anything spectacular as of right now. So like, and at the end we saw Naruto going leaps and bounds ahead of Sasuke, so we can say Kawaki is at least going to go ahead of Boruto at some point. So let's just wait. I mean, Kawaki was that guy pre-time skip, just because like everyone's a little bit stronger now, like you're putting my boy in fraud watch. No, bro, let's wait for his comeback. It's gonna be crazy. Let's go. Mitsuki then asks Shikamaru to hurry up, that he doesn't want to lose Boruto, We then shift back to Boruto's conversation with Sumire and Sarada, where they ask him, "What do you mean started evolving?" With Boruto saying that he doesn't exactly know why or how, but he feels that Ku's chakra is affecting them via the claw grime. And he goes on to say, though he may not be an Otsutsuki, he still has a karma that came from Ishiki. So that mixing with his chakra, mixing with the claw marks, and putting it on the ten tails, having an effect on the ten tails, which will evolve into the Shinju, is not really that much of a surprise. Where this statement ties perfectly into my theory, as I just said prior to this picture. So let's go on. We then see that Shikamaru is talking to Boruto via mind transfer jutsu. Then he goes on to say that he should not change his expression or notify people that he's currently speaking with him. Boruto then goes on to say, "Old man Shikamaru." Then in an attempt to gain Boruto's trust, he then tells him that the sensory unit is not involved on this transmission, that Ino set up a private line for the both of them to have this conversation, and he will not be logged at all. Boruto then goes on to say that he's heard that Shikamaru has become Hokage, that he really be doing this. Then this let me know that now the death of Naruto, like, it has already rapidly spread around the ninja world, because Boruto just came back to the village during this time skip since he's been away for the past 3 years. So like Naruto's death has been going around the world, and Shikamaru's, like, you get what I'm saying. So Shikamaru then says that they only call him Lord 8th out of convenience, that he's still interim Hokage and he has not accepted the title formally. Boruto then goes on to say that that's not what he asked, and that on what basis should he trust Shikamaru, with Shikamaru telling him to stop arguing, that he should get out of there as fast as he can, that he has company. Then the panel shifts to Boruto being wrapped up by Mitsuki's snake. Then we get this panel, and like the craziest part about this panel isn't even the flying Raijin, bro, is that this man's shook his hip so hard that his sword flew all the way over there. Like, look at that crazy distance. This man shook his hip. That's crazy. And like, he has used the flying riding to adapt to Sasuke's fighting style. I mean, this is literally a copy and paste of when Momoshiki caught Sasuke, with those red chains in the Naruto Boruto movie. So yeah, let's go on. And so Boruto broke out, and Mitsuki is looking pissed as fuck. Mitsuki then says, "We finally meet again, Boruto, that he has been waiting for this moment for a long time." Sarada then tells Mitsuki to leave, as we've all seen in that teaser they released before they released the chapter. Mitsuki then says that he doesn't know what lies Boruto has told them, but as of right now, he cannot control his strength. And like, the craziest thing about this is that Sage Mode destroys Mitsuki's body, like, and he's risking it all just to kill Boruto. Like, he could literally die. That's crazy. Mitsuki then attacks Boruto, and Boruto whips out a whole ass purple lightning. He encases his sword in purple lightning. Now this man is literally Sasuke. He is Sasuke, bro. I don't think Boruto can be considered an Uzumaki at this point. He should just change his name to Uchiha, cause what the hell? Like, when he said he has literally learned when Sasuke said he taught Boruto everything he knows, he taught him everything he knows. That's crazy. So Boruto then cuts the heads of those snakes off. Then Mitsuki launches another new attack, striking Shadow Snake Assault. And then we get a cool ass panel of the attack. Then they just gave us a Boruto version of throughout the heavens and the earth, I alone am the honored one. And then he says Sarada, because like, Sarada is his main focus. He doesn't want to get her in danger or anything. So he then says that he swears to rescue Sasuke and everyone else that has been turned into a tree, as well as he then says, "No, never mind." And like, this man's really wanted to end his series here. Like, he was just literally going to say, Naruto, I swear, I bet you, he was going to say, as well as my dad. And like, do you know what that would have done to them and Shikamaru, them listening on this conversation? Like, Bro, that would have been crazy. So he then says no, never mind, and he'll be back. So we're already getting confirmation that Boruto is going to come back to Konoha sometime soon, and so he flies away. Now I just want to take a minute to appreciate Mitsuki's like art in this panel. Like, bro looks so majestic though. No homo, to be honest. So Boruto then says, if you really wanted to talk to me, you could have made it so we wouldn't be interrupted like that. Old man 8th. Shikamaru then goes on to say that the whole of Konoha wants Boruto eliminated. That is not just the elders, but the entire land of fire is in agreement that if he were to stop Mitsuki, it'd look out of place for him as interim Hokage. With Boruto then going on to say saving your own skin. So what exactly are you planning to do? With Shikamaru then saying that there are things he can see and do simply because he's Hokage, and that there are things he can do in his own way to provide support for Boruto, and that he specifically wants Boruto's help. So as of right now, Boruto has gained another ally within the Leaf Village. Then Shikamaru then goes on to say, Boruto then goes on to say no thanks. Then Shikamaru says, hear me out. He now says, you're actually Uzumaki Boruto, aren't you? And Ino is surprised and Boruto is speechless. With Shikamaru saying that he apologizes, that even though he says that he's having a hard time accepting the notion himself. He says that it didn't even occur to him until Amado brought it up that his memories might be altered. So for all of you saying that Shikamaru figured it out on his own, he literally has retconned that statement by saying it didn't occur to him until Amado brought it up that his memories might be fabricated. He then goes on to say that it's a far-fetched theory, but that things begin to make sense. Things start falling into place when you flip Boruto and Kawaki's current positions with each other. Ino is still perplexed. Then Shikamaru asks Boruto to tell him the truth. Boruto lands and he says that he's traveled quite far from the village and he should be beyond Kawaki's range of finding him. And he asks how far can the mind transfer jutsu spread. Shikamaru then says that in Ino's case, he can travel 100 kilometers around the village. Then Boruto says that he hates to break this off, but he has a loose end that he has to tie up. Then we see a snake coming out from Boruto's clothing. Now, what I like about this is that Mitsuki is like, he is so stealthy, straight from Boruto Naruto Next Generations. This man will stick a snake to your body and you won't even know how or when he did it, and like, it's so crazy. Boruto then looks into the distance and he sees Mitsuki coming at him with full speed. Boruto then says, sorry, but I'm going to have to get a little rough with you, Mitsuki. And the chapter ends here. Another 10-10 chapter from Ikimoto and Kishimoto, man. These guys they're dominating, bro, but the Boruto manga has a problem. That's going to be for a separate video, so set your noti bells, and that's dropping tomorrow for sure. Trust me on that. So this fight between Mitsuki and Boruto, for me, can go two ways. Mitsuki will dog Boruto, and Boruto will have to bring out the karma, or Boruto is going to win mid to high diff with just his new skills and his new powers. Because, like, if you remember correctly, Mitsuki was stated to be a threat by Urashiki. He was stated to be a threat to the three of them, Urashiki, Momoshiki, and Kinshiki. So I don't think Boruto is actually going to win by a huge landslide unless he uses his karma or something. Because this is Sage Mode. We know Sage Mode affects Otsutsukis in some way, like it's like their kryptonite or some shit like that. So thank you for watching. Please like, sub, leave a comment, and come back tomorrow for my next video. Peace out, and I love you all.